inside and outside the country continue to be targeted. 1. Patrick Karayeger, a former head of Rwanda's intelligence services, was found murdered in a Johannesburg hotel. Detainees were held unlawfully for several weeks or months in police or military custody in unrecognized detention centers. Dozens of people were reported disappeared. Some reappeared in prison after prolonged incommunicado detention, but others remained unaccounted for. Borgen reported in 2016 authoritarian streaks, like the forced removal of undesirables into detention centers, burning of farmers' fields because they did not grow their assigned crops, and the stripping of villages' grass roofs as part of modernization. Since 1996, Rwanda had an average annual GDP growth rate of 7% and an increasingly diverse economy. Sectors such as agriculture, services, electricity, infrastructure, construction and tourism sectors. The latter contributed 10% of the GDP. Nevertheless, around 38% of the population lived below the poverty line, resulting from a poor education. 68% of first graders ended up completing primary education, low domestic savings, and little rural disposable time and income. Kenya. Hezi Bezalel has activated his links in Kenya again. For close to 30 years he has not done business in Kenya using his names because he fell out with the late Nicholas Kipyetor Kiprono Arap Biwott after he blocked the sewerage system in Yaya Center Block B because he was denied major shareholding in the mall. Also, he had fallen out with the late John Munge because John felt that Hezi used them as directors in Eurobank to swindle the Kenyan public for his own personal interest. Hezi feared the two, since his money from all African countries is wired to Kenyan banks. He operates a mafia-like cartel where he is not registered as director or shareholder, but the companies are registered by his concubines, girlfriends and associates. Now Hezi is back in the Kenya, with the Kenya Kwanza administration. Our whistleblower informs us that Hezi is now in control of Parliament, DCI and the armed forces. In our next episode we shall be able to put into focus the contracts the Ruto administration has awarded this criminal who wants to swindle the public for the second time. The big question is, will the lightning strike twice? Does the president know who he is dealing with? Do his advisors do background tests for individuals before they give contracts? We shall also focus on how he is arming M23 in DRC, Ivory Coast, South Sudan and time allowing we look at his role in Liberian's conflict. Produced by We the Whistleblowers Africa.